Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable, the highlights that I want to pull out from the past week. Today is Friday, March 18th, and we'll get started right away. The first thing I wanted to discuss were the Google Whitelists. At XMX West last week, I asked a question, which Danny was kind enough to ask to Matt Cutts in a live panel, asking, does Google have whitelists? And Matt Cutts responded, basically yes. He said they have what is called exception lists, specifically for specific algorithms. For example, if you are hit by the Google safe search filter because of your domain, Google then and you don't have any adult images on your site, Google will then put you on an exception list to say that you do not go by this algorithm. But Google does have various exception lists for their algorithms. There's an exception list. It's not a global one. It's a specific one or two, exception list per algorithm, and not every algorithm has exception lists. And Google says as they update their algorithms, they try to remove the exception list, specifically because Google, and also Bing admitted to it, says that every algorithm is not 100% perfect, and some sites that do get hit should not be getting hit. Google also said that there is no exception list currently for the Farmer Panda update. So I don't know if there's one today, but there wasn't. And if you wanted to see the whole entire transcript of this conversation at XMX West, or also listen to it, I have a link to it that I posted at Search Engine Land, but you can get to it at Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com on the bottom at March 14th, in the archives over there, March 14th. Speaking of Farmer, this morning I wrote about sites being rescued from the Farmer Panda update. There were only 2 sites that I know of that claim to have been pulled out of the Farmer update, meaning they are no longer impacted by it. One was Cult of Mac, and the other one is Digital Inspiration. Cult of Mac specifically said they were hit by the algorithm, the Farmer update, but Google said they were not, or they were not specifically removed from that, because Matt Cutts specifically said there was nothing done for this website. So I don't think Cult of Mac was actually hit by the Farmer update. It was probably something else. But Digital Inspiration posted yesterday that their traffic is back to normal. He posted a screenshot of his traffic chart. He showed how the levels dropped from the date of when Farmer update launched and up until I think March 18th or so, and his traffic is back to normal levels. He believes what he's done actually got him out of the Farmer impact, and now he's ranking fairly well. I'm not so sure, because one is if he actually did go ahead and I would have imagined that other sites would have also claimed that they would have been also removed from the Farmer update or been ranking well after this. But he is really the only one. I've been tracking this in several forums over the past several days, and nobody else is reporting that they've been removed. So I'm not really sure why he was specifically pulled out. Some possible reasons is one, Google updated the Farmer Panda algorithm, and other sites are actually going ahead and coming out as well, but not reporting it yet. 2, this site was specifically not hit by the Farmer update. It was just a coincidence that it happened during the Farmer update. And 3, he was added to a Google whitelist or exception list for this update, which Google maybe just pushed out recently. I'm not sure. Again, I think it's number 2, where it was something else, but it's too hard to say. Gabs in the chat room says it was probably due to a link bait. So, could be. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to fudge those graphs. Anyway, if you want to learn more about this, March 18th, I will continue to keep you posted and look for more people claiming that they are not in there. And if you were impacted, like 40% have reported to be impacted negatively. We did post more advice on how to go ahead and get out of that. Obviously, Google wants you to remove the low-quality content. The question is, if you do want to remove it, then what do you do? So we posted the difference between using a 404 to remove pages you do not want to show up, and a difference between using a 301 redirect, and maybe even using the no index tag on your site. So if you do want to remove stuff and you do want to get back into the index and you are hurt by this, March 14th at seroundtable.com. Moving on, Google said that ads do not play a role in this farmer update, generally. So let me quote John Moo, who posted in Google Webmaster Help thread. He said, another factor that was mentioned is ads. For our algorithms, ads generally don't play a big role. However, they can play a role with your visitors. So basically Google's saying, a lot of the stuff around farmer update was about people saying if your ads are above the content and they're hard to see the content, then Google might label your site as something that should be hit by the farmer update. But Google's pretty much saying here, generally no, it's not something that go into their accounts, obviously. And I believe that to be true. I don't think ads do play a role, but maybe if there's ads and it's hard to find the content, maybe. But that's really a sign of a low-quality site anyway. But if you want more information about that and ask John from Google himself, go to March 14th, and we have links to that information. Another thing, not really to farmer, but something coming down the pipe in terms of Google's thing, is that Google said, or Matt Cutts said, they are going to look into keyword-rich domains as why they rank so well in Google. This is nothing new. We discussed this back in November, December of last year. This came about during a Matt Cutts keynote at PubCon, and then he posted a video this past week discussing this. And he said, and I'll quote, Aaron Wall transcribed it, so thank you, Aaron Wall. Now, if you were on the fence, let me just give you a bit of color. That we have looked at the rankings and the weights that were given to keyword domains, and some people have complained that they were giving a little too much weight for keywords and domains. So we have been thinking about adjusting the mix a bit and sort of turning the knob down within the algorithm. So that given two domains, different domains, it wouldn't necessarily help you much to have a domain with a bunch of keywords in it. So basically, if you are going after the keyword domains, it might not be one of those things that are going to help you in the future. So definitely be prepared if you want more information about this, March 16th at seroundtable.com. A new feature that Google has released was the ability to block sites. We discussed this last week. Google now lets you block sites in the search results. And we discussed how Google had that block sites in 2005, then in 2009. Replaced with SearchWiki. SearchWiki then was replaced by Stars. Stars then now got replaced, and I didn't notice this, but nobody else really noticed this until recently. That Stars is no longer, you can no longer star search results in the Google search results. The only way to do that now is to go to google.com/bookmarks, and then starred results will show up in your search results, but you can't necessarily star any result, and that was the starring feature, which was added to replace a SearchWiki, which replaced the block results, is now being replaced back by the block results. Anyway, more information about that, March 15th at seroundtable.com. Google's been testing showing word counts in the search results. This is pretty interesting because obviously SEOs are fairly interested in keyword density and number of words on a page. So Google's actually showing, in some cases, the actual words on a search result. And I don't know if you can see that on my screen, but you can see over here 5,600 words, 1,000 words. So Google's obviously, it's not a hard thing for Google to do, but they're actually showing you the actual number of words on a page according to Google. I doubt it'll have any impact on SEO, but it's good to know. So this is interesting. An interesting thread. We have almost 40 comments already, which I didn't really want on the Search Engine Roundtable. I preferred it to go on Spin. But basically, Spin has an interesting discussion around what are the most underused, most overrated SEO techniques. We previously covered about a few weeks ago the most underused SEO techniques, and this is now the most overrated SEO techniques. And the things given in the Spin thread were XML sitemaps, meta keyword tag, 301 redirects for bought domains, HTML compliance, keyword density, toolbar page rank, and directory submissions. But we have tons and tons of other suggestions in the thread, as well as in the thing we posted. So definitely take a look at that, March 17th at seroundtable.com. Here's an interesting other thing that an SEO firm was held liable for what his client was doing. He was ordered to pay $770,000 for his client selling counterfeit goods. The thing was, if you take a look at it, it was clearly out illegal. Anybody working on the site should have known. But it's interesting that an SEO firm or a hosting company can actually be held liable for what their clients do. If you want to take a look at that, March 17th at SERoundtable.com. Remember, site speed is a ranking factor. It was the big thing back in 2009, late 2009 when Google announced it. Then Google came out with a tool to track site speed, and then SEO started to notice that AdSense and analytics were actually slowing down their site. Soon after, Google came out with an update to Google Analytics for asynchronous code. Yesterday, finally, Google came out with a revised AdSense code. Not code. They said AdSense is now much faster. It no longer will impact your site speed. They did something to basically make it asynchronous by using an iframe without you having to update your code. So you don't have to do anything. It's already done for you, but Google made it much faster. If you want more information about this, March 18th at SERoundtable.com. Google AdSense is testing new ad units. I have an array of those ad units in terms of text and how they look. Basically nothing to really see, but they're placing the URL above the ad text. They are trying to censor the URL, the ads. They are doing 2 lines instead of 4 lines. They're doing lots of different things to test it, and Google confirmed that these are multiple tests going on right now. Google overhauled their Google Search app. They renamed it from the Google Mobile app to the Google Search app. And that's available for people to download for free. You post about it on March 16th. The main things is there's multiple swipe actions, there's new toolbars for filtering, there's faster ways to navigate, plus there's a lot of more integration between the various apps. So definitely take a look at that, March 16th at SERoundtable.com. Google Analytics was updated. Now there's a version 5 of Google Analytics out. You probably won't see it yet. You can actually sign up to try to be part of their early beta launch. But I posted a video from Justin, as well as some more information about the update this morning at March 18th at SERoundtable.com. It's a nice update. Finally, let's get to the logos. It was Pi Day on March 14th, obviously 314, which is the beginning of Pi, the number. We had a theme. Google did not have a theme. Most people didn't have a theme, which is pretty interesting. But here's a Pi Day logo from Google last year. Google Hungary had a logo, which was a neat logo. And it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday for the first time in like years. I can't remember even. I think it was 2001 they didn't have a logo. Google did not have a St. Patrick's Day logo on the main Google homepage, but they did have it on Google Ireland. It caused a lot of controversy. I believe it was because of what's happening in Japan. But anyway, also Yahoo didn't have a logo. They had only one if you were UK or Ireland based. And it was pretty cool. Leprechauns Dancing, DuckDuckGo had a logo, Bing had a theme, Ask.com, Dogpile, and of course us, we had the special logo for the day. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. I will see you guys next week. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys. Be well. Thank you.